Do you really believe everything you hear? Because Red Bull and Max Verstappen just confirmed that Gianpiero Lambiase, the race engineer who has been at Max's side since 2016, is staying with the team through 2025. But here is the problem. This good news is masking a much deeper crisis that no one wants to talk about openly. Let me break this down for you. Abu Dhabi late 2025. Max wins the race, but he loses the World Championship by a measly 2 points to Lando Norris. And then something happened on the pit wall that no one can forget. Lambiase, a man who conquered 4 world titles with Verstappen, was seen crying. Once those images went viral, the paddock exploded with rumors. Aston Martin had allegedly offered GP a senior role. Williams was circling. Suddenly, the internet was convinced that the 9-year partnership between Max and GP was over. You only saw the tip of the iceberg. Do you know what Verstappen did? He posted a message after the race calling Lambiase his friend, saying he worked with someone passionate and that he was emotional because it wasn't easy for him at times. It sounds sentimental, sure, but read it again. It wasn't easy for him at times. This isn't just about losing a championship. This is about something deeply personal happening behind the scenes. And the most absurd part, the international press is treating the confirmation of Lambiase staying as a victory. It's not. He's staying, but in a fractured role, balancing head of race operations with his engineering duties. Red Bull only confirmed this publicly to extinguish the fire. They had to keep GP because if he left for Aston Martin to join Adrian Newey and the new Honda project, it would be a humiliating blow to Max and a death sentence for Christian, her leadership. Have you seen the latest from Aston Martin? They say they have a good understanding of how their 2026 car will perform. Sounds positive, right, wrong. That is the most vague and defensive statement you will ever hear from a team that has spent billions. Mike Crack was clear. They know which tracks they'll be fast on and which ones they won't. But, and this is the killer, they have no idea where they stand compared to their rivals. Honda is behind on battery development, or Aramco. Their fuel partner is brand new to F1. In 2026, fuel isn't just fuel. It's a performance weapon. Shell, Petronas and ExxonMobil have decades of data. Aramco is starting from zero. Do you really believe a newcomer can compete with machines refined for 20 years? Good understanding actually means our simulations show we are dead on some tracks, and we're terrified the real data will be even worse. Why else did they book private closed-door tests in Barcelona for January 26th? They want to fix their disasters before the world sees them. But while some are hiding, others are celebrating. Yesterday, Audi rolled out the R26 in Barcelona. Our national pride, Gabriel Bortalto, said he felt chills through his entire body hearing that engine fire up. It is a historic moment for Brazil, a 22-year-old talent ready to lead a factory team for one of the world's biggest manufacturers. But let's look at the reality behind the celebration. Audi's journey is far more complex than a viral video. They bought Sauer for 350 million and have expanded from 300 to 700 employees in just 2 years. They've hired Maisha Bernardo, James Key, and Jonathan Wheatley, a leadership payroll that exceeds $50 million a year. Audi is fighting an uphill battle. Sauber was a customer team for 15 years. It had no factory infrastructure, no engine data, nothing. They are rebuilding a house while living in it, but their moves are smart. The Revolut partnership and the Qatar Investment Authority backing show that this isn't just about money. It's about building a global powerhouse. Do you think Bordeaux and Audi will shock the world in 2026? Finally, we have Mercedes. They just made a statement that sounds innocent, but is actually an admission of failure. They claim Max Verstappen would never leave Red Bull because he's too loyal. Lies, all of it. The proof is in a contract that no one wants to read. In 2025, Mercedes was in a total panic. Toto Wolff spent months trying to lure Max away with secret meetings in Sardinia. Max said no, so Mercedes did what any desperate team does. They signed 2 mid-tier drivers to long-term deals and told the public Max was impossible anyway. But here is the truth. If Max is P2 or lower in the 2026 championship by the summer break, he can walk. Red Bull is so terrified of losing him that they lowered the bar. They opened the door and said, if we can't make you win, you're free. Oliver Mintzliff claims he isn't scared of the performance clause, but when an executive says that publicly, it means he's shaking in his boots. He talks about loyalty, but Lawrence Stroll has already signaled that if Alonso leaves in 2026, he only wants Max. Audi is waiting with unlimited cash. Ferrari is watching in silence. Why? Because Max's manager Raymond Vermeulen and his father Joscha Stoppen demanded this escape hatch. Max stays for now, but the moment that car slows down, he's making the call. So, what do you think? Will Max abandon the sinking ship in 2026, or will he stay and go down with it? The answer will be written in the Barcelona dust, and it's going to be obvious. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button to hype the video and make sure you're subscribed. The war for 2026 has already begun. We'll see you in the next one.